What up, everybody? It's your boy JR Reviews, aka Josh Reviews Incorporated, aka Otaku Life for Me, aka Mr. Stereo Waifu. You better fucking watch out, aka Senpai Josh and my fucking boss. Here to bring you a brand new video. Today we're talking about and reviewing AD Arrow. I don't know how to spell his name. I think it's Arrow. AD Arrow's book, Bumps in the Night in the Mall of Madness. Let's do it. Let's do this. So this book, I gotta say, from the beginning, it was slow to start, but once it hits, it fucking hits. Like I was reading a couple chapters at a time until last night. I was like, I think yesterday I was on chapter 8, and then I got until chapter 13, paused, did some other stuff, then went on from more. I ended up finishing it last night around 12:56 in the morning, but it was really good. It follows our main character is a girl named Samantha Lowe. They live in this small town called Plainsfield. She has her best friend Lizzie and her parents. Her parents run this general store, and I love the idea of the small town. I like this small town. I like the idea that everything in this small town is was just run by families. I love the fact that if something is trying to be built in the town, they all have to agree to it. They have this town meeting. But one day there's this new mall opening up, and they don't even know about it. They didn't know about it, and they go to this town meeting, and they're like, what the hell are you talking about? There's a mall open up. We didn't even give approval or blah, 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 blah. And then they're like, and the town mall people, the people that run, I guess, the town are like, well, you see, we didn't consult y'all. And then this lady shows up. Her name is Morgan Nix, by the way. I definitely like the idea of calling her Morgan Nix. That name is definitely, I'm wondering if he's the ADRO is a fan of mythology, because Morgan is in Celtic mythology the goddess of death, war, life and death, and a bunch of other things. She's very controversial and complex in Celtic mythology. And she can be good and bad. And Nyx in Greek mythology is the primordial goddess. She's one of the first gods ever created. She's with Gaia and Uranus and Tartarus and all them. And she's the daughter of Chaos. And she is the personification of night. She's so powerful in Greek mythology, apparently, that even Zeus is afraid of her and afraid of getting on her bad side. So, yeah, I like the fact that this villain is named after two of these goddesses from different mythologies. I definitely saw a lot of mythology stuff in it. I'll get to it in the further of the review of this. But yeah, so Morgan comes out and is like, hey, people, that property that we bought, that you claim is the meadow and everything, yeah, it's us. So offering Umbra and are limited. I think that's why they call it. Let me just check. Which is funny enough, is literally spells out soul. It's an anagram for the word soul. And when I kept writing about it, I kept thinking of the Umbrella Corporation in Resident Evil. Anyways, back to what I was saying. So in this book, the townspeople are having a conniption. They're like, we don't want this mall. It's going to ruin our town. We literally reside on us, other people coming to our town and buying stuff from our stores. We can't have this mall, And the mall's lady's like, I don't give a shit whether you think so or not. The mall's gonna happen. Okay, Sam and her friend Lizzie. Sam also is an aspiring filmmaker. She wants to be a director, and she makes a documentary. She's making a documentary about living life in a small town for her TikTok, which is a great way to add, bring modernity into these kind of books. The author, this book definitely reminds me of like a mixture of Goosebumps and Are You Afraid of the Dark, and Shivers. So anyways, Sam is ends up going with Lizzie to this area where the mall is supposedly being taken place and being built, and Lizzie looks through this peephole they find and can't see anything but the little construction stuff. When Sam looks in through it, she sees these people, these uniformed men pumping what seems to be blood into the mall, and like this little brain matter like gray thing is being placed in. So it's the mall might be alive. But like this mall is gonna be like huge. They say it's gonna be 300 shops, a roller coaster, the world's finest food court, but all this type of stuff. Anyways, then there's enough that she gets caught. They get caught while there by Morgan, this lady, and while trying to film the construction of the mall. And they ended up being taken. They ended up being chased out. Skip ahead to another meeting now at Town Hall, where everyone's yelling and talking, and Morgan comes out, I mean, cold as fuck. She says, listen, I'll be here to talk to you guys for your concerns, but whether you like it or not, the mall's happening in 3 days. You got 3 days. There's nothing you can do to stop this mall. Also, I will listen to y'all, but the moment you act like a fucking animal, acting like fucking animals, y'all going, we'll be treated like animals. It gets to a point where one of the townspeople, Jimmy Dawson, runs up and going to go punch her, and her guards are there and grab him and take him through these back doors of the town hall, screaming. And they say that's the last time anyone ever saw Jimmy Dawson again. And then a little bit later, during the mall, the owner of the florist store and gifts throws a rock at her, and he also gets taken through the doors and is never seen again. Anyways, Samantha and Lizzie end up going to the mall, and the only person throughout the entire book who is adamantly opposed to the mall is Sam's dad. I absolutely love Sam's dad in this book. He's a man with principles, and I respect that. I respect that he's like, I'm not letting this shit go down without a fucking fight. I will not just lay down and and let you destroy everything my father built, because his father built the general store that that he runs now. I think he says it was built in the 60s. So, assuming this book takes place in 2024, the general store is built in the 60s. That's a long fucking time for the store to be running. I don't understand why he's like, fuck this. I'm not sitting down and letting you destroy my family's work, What was it? Fuck. I'm sorry, guys. I've been taking a nap all day, so I'm kind of tired, and I just woke up again to do this. Review. Okay, now I remember. Yeah, so Sam ends up going to school and with Lizzie, and there's these notes all around the school. Like these flyers for these malls popping up like everywhere. I mean, everywhere. And there's literally notes there's it's surprising how fast they're popping up and how everywhere they are. They end up even popping up at school, and these little notes have they're in these children's lockers have lollipops in them, and when they eat this lollipop, the children become mindless zombies. So another correlation to mythology that I view with these candy and stuff, it reminds me of the island of the Lotus Eaters in Greek myth, in the story of the Odyssey. And the reason why is the Lotus Eaters, when you ate the lotus flower, it made you not want to leave the island. It made you want to stay there. It made you want to lounge around all day, and you couldn't get even, you wanted more of the flower. That's the thing. The same way, this is kind of like, I mean, you want to get more. You want to get another fix of of the food from the mall. Lizzie's friend, or Samantha's friend, Lizzie, ends up taking Lizzie's lollipop because Lizzie doesn't want it. And Samantha is like, said she gave up candy ever since she had like 4 cavities last year, and it's like, which totally I don't understand. I've given up candy because I've had cavity problems in the past. So I don't eat candy as I used to anymore. I'll have it every now and again. But anyways, one second, let me get a drink. Maybe I'll wake my ass up. This is fucking Cool Blue. Okay, yeah, that woke up, yeah. Woo! Thank you. Okay, so Lizzie and Sam have been, throughout this entire book, there's something's pulling Sam toward the mall. She doesn't know why. It's just something that she feels is being pulled like a force. Anyways, it's only the trance only stops the people, like the children, after they eat like regular food that's not from the mall, like the school food. Anyways, Sam and Lizzie end up going to the mall on opening day because they had this like promotion at the mall. Like the first 100 people that come to the mall on opening day get a free voucher for a pretzel. They end up going on the roller coaster, and they end up going on to one store called Rads, which is like a clothing store, where Lizzie and Samantha end up. Sam's already said she's not gonna buy anything because like it's overly expensive. Like I think the dress was $40 or something like that. And Sam's like, or Lizzie's like, I got a bunch of birthday money, I'll buy some stuff. But then Lizzie and Sam end up trying stuff on, and while in the middle of trying stuff on, Lizzie like just starts hearing knocking on her door, on her dressing room door, and they're saying, "Help me, help me, help me!" And the doors bust open, and it's a bunch of mannequins. And Lizzie, they're attacking Lizzie, crawling all over her and grabbing at her, and she wakes up and faints. She had fainted, and only wakes up later to Lizzie and this creepy store girl or clerk who's been smiles like a wide smile the entire time. Kind of brings me back to like horror at Camp Jelly Jam in the Goosebumps series, and the way like the counselor's always like. Let me say this now. Anyone who smiles like they're like in a like this all the time, there's something not right with them. That's your sign that you need to leave. If someone's just always smiles, nothing good comes from it. Excuse me. So Lizzie's like, yeah, I want to leave. Or Sam's like, I want to leave, and Lizzie's like, okay, well, let's leave. They end up leaving. And later on that night, she gets home, and Sam's dad is furious with her. He knows that she went to the mall. He had previously stated before that if you go to the mall, you're grounded. I don't want you anywhere near that mall. And he wouldn't even listen to what she said. And she runs into her room and cries herself to sleep. Wakes up a little bit later, and starts feeling for her phone. Can't find her phone in her pockets. Looks under her bed. It's not there. And she realized, oh, fuck, I left my phone at the mall. So she goes and walks to Lizzie. Sneaks out of the house, goes to Lizzie's house, and is like, hey, do you mind if we go to the mall again? I got my phone there, blah, blah, blah. Says, why didn't you just text me before? Or she's like, why'd you come here? Like, it's the middle of the night. It's 10:30. Like, why don't you text me? He's like, I can't text you. I don't have my phone. I left it in the mall. She's like, okay, let's go. So Lizzie hops out of there, sneaks out of her house, and they end up walking to the mall. On the way, they pass Jimmy Dawson's family restaurant and, or the building that was Jimmy Dawson's family restaurant and the flower shop and gifts. And it's gone. Like, it's the building's there, but nothing's in there. And she's like, oh, this and that and this and that. And, like, so Lizzie's like, hey, what happened to Jimmy Dawson's restaurant and this? And, like, Lizzie's like, what are you talking about? Jimmy Dawson's restaurant and flower gifts. I don't know what the hell you're talking about. Like, and, like, Sam's like, we've been there plenty of times. We bought gifts there plenty of times. Like, what are you talking about? And Lizzie and Sam end up going to the mall, and then Sam comes clean about this force that's been pulling her, as well as the mall kind of reacting to Sam coming up. Like, the doors are opening and closing. There's a pull of her. They park their bikes at the mall gate, this mall bike thing, and they get in and they walk to Rad's, and surprisingly, the store's open, the lights are on. And they walk in, and on the counter is Sam's phone. They walk and grab the phone, and then they hear heels on the ground, and steps out of the shadows. Is Morgan, this lady, and she's like, well, having like some late night shopping, ladies, or doing some late night shopping. And Morgan and Sam is like, no, we're just grabbing my phone and leaving. And that's when these mannequins out of nowhere grab Sam and Lizzie and hold them down. And Morgan gives the spiel that, oh yeah, this mall is actually a living creature. It's from a realm beyond our understanding. So basically, this book becomes a cosmic horror, which absolutely love cosmic horror, and that it feeds on souls and it licks and drinks blood. And that the reason why there's a pull that the mall is having on Sam is because it likes that it's resisting her. And it says, Sam's like, okay. Morgan's like, listen, you can either do two things. You can either be a victim, okay, or you can be a hero, because she says that basically her job is to feed them all human souls. And Sam makes a point, like, what happens when you run out of humans? And she's like, oh, well, humans are born every single day, so there's always a plenty of stock. Just the fact is, do you rather be a hero and it's stopping from eating all humans and eating only some, or do you want to be a victim? And she shows what happens to victims. She ends up cutting her forehead with her fingernail, and a third eye comes out, and this third eye shoots this green light beam of light into Lizzie's face, and Lizzie just out of nowhere just starts. Her mouth goes agape and just starts spewing blood as vomit. And, like, bro, this shit got real dark real fast. And it, like, literally emptied her entire body of blood. That's when this thing, like, came out, the ground opened up, and, like, a tongue came out of, like, a tongue and started lapping up the blood, which is the mall creature. Which I'm generally curious. I want to know what it actually looks like, the actual creature itself. But they didn't get into that. That's a part of a cosmic horror that's interesting, is that they don't actually ever show the real creature, because the real creature, they supposedly say in cosmic horror, will just destroy a person's brain. Because their brain can't comprehend what they're looking at. So Lizzie then Lizzie is like, blood's all lapped up, and then at the same time, we just watch her turn into a mannequin. Her eyes get pulled into the back of her skull. Her mouth is like fully disappears. Her hair falls out. and her bones solidify, and then we just see her become a fucking mannequin. Which, gotta say, I was fidgety at that point because I just the verbal description of the process that Lizzie goes through gave me shivers. I was just awestruck with that description. Like, I'm like, Goosebumps would never do this. No, nor I don't think Are You Afraid Dark ever did this on this scale. This is a YA horror, by the way. So I think it's young adult. I'm not mistaken, or young audiences. I don't know if it's young audiences or young adult. I would say it's a mixture of both at this point. Anyway, so Lizzie ends up saying, like, Lizzie's like, Morgan offers Lizzie a job, or not Lizzie, Sam a job, sorry. Sam a job. You say, I know you wanted to be a filmmaker, you could be part of our filmmaking or executive. You could film the movie, direct movies that will be played in our Cineplex that has like 24 screens, and have your dream job and everything. And so Lizzie's like, at first says, yeah, sure, why not, just to get out of the restraints of the mannequin that's holding her. And then the last second takes a flash picture of Morgan and books it. Runs like Indiana Jones. The mall doors are gonna close, closing and shutting, and opening and closing. She grabs this trash can and throws it, which caught right between the doors as they're closing, giving her a little room to get through. And at the last possible second, she jumps through this little opening as the trash can gives way and gets shut out forever. She runs back. She gets in her bike, drives back to her parents' the house, and walks in the room. And her parents are worried where she was, and she's covered in blood. And she's like, "Oh, the mall's alive! The mall's alive!" Her parents don't believe her. Her dad's furious because she believes that Morgan is somehow involved with doing this, what she is. He's like, well, it's not enough to do this to me, but now you have to go after children. Well, how low will this lady stoop, or something like that? Which, very granted criticism. She and then says, "Well, my friend Lizzie," and Lizzie's like, they're like, "Who's Lizzie?" Lizzie no longer exists. She says, "Oh, my best friend since kindergarten." She's like, "Yep, nope, that doesn't ring a bell." So she even calls Lizzie's father, and Lizzie's like, "Dad, like, I don't have a daughter. Don't call me again." And she ends up going to school, and like everything else is replaced. Like she used to have a locker next to Lizzie. Now it's this random kid that supposedly she's always had their locker next to. More and more people start disappearing from the town. The general store that her dad owns and runs is going just has no business, and it goes under. Her dad goes into a very big depression, and it hurts Sam to see this. And she knows there's not a damn thing she can do. The police come the next day, that night, before, the police come that night after she gets home from, the mall covered in blood. And she's like, "Oh, what happened last night?" And says, "Oh, well, she lies because she doesn't believe it, that the cop will tell her and take her right to a mental institution. Says, "I was riding my bike in the woods and I fell over my handlebars and I cracked my head open a little, and that's where the blood came from." And she's like, "Oh, okay." And then the sheriff's like, "Just take her to the hospital." Anyways, weeks after that, went by, then months went by, and finally, one day she gets home, and there's a sign saying, "We're going out of business," on the general store thing. And she walks in and says to her dad, "Hey, is this true? Are we going out of business?" He says, Yeah. Says, "Are we moving?" Since they have no other way. He says, No. Actually, I got a job in town. They'll let us stay in town. They offered me a job at the mall as a manager. And I respect the dad's decision, because at the end of the day, you gotta do what's best for your family. But it's also the old adage: if you can't beat them, join them. And I respect that as well. If you can't beat the system, you join the system. You know what I mean? And out steps Morgan. He's like, "Oh, what's up? Is that your Sam? I've heard so much about you." And basically, her dad signs his soul away at right there and then, and she's heading for the door. Says, "I'll see you Monday morning for training," and something like that. He says, "Oh, yes, ma'am." And Morgan walks to the door and then stops and turns to Sam and says, "Listen, I've heard so much about you. There's a job open if you want to be a filmmaker or to film, you know." And there's an epilogue 15 years later. 15 years go by, and there's another small town called I think it's Jonestown or something like that. Jonesbury. And this mayor of Jonesbury has a meeting with someone from So Umbra Unlimited, offering unlimited. I think that's where it is. I think, again, let me just make sure that is the title. Share offering unlimited. I've been saying this wrong. My bad. Share offering unlimited. Okay. Share offering Umbra Limited. I don't know why I say unlimited. Share offering Umbra Limited group or company, and it looks like a lot like Morgan, and it turns it's not Morgan. It's Sam. Sam is now taking the job as chief. I think it was like executive officer, something like that. Let me look up real quick. Executive. Yeah, she's an executive officer, so she's like. I think almost a CEO or something, and working there. And she says, "Listen, how about the proposal?" And he's already told her that it's not. They already took a zoning board, took a vote, and they're saying no to the mall. And she's like, "What does it fucking matter what the town says? What you say? The mall is happening, whether you like it or not." And she's actually developed a liking to the role. A couple of years, and it goes on to a deep dive that a couple of years ago. Or a couple years ago, she made a deal with Morgan to take position in order to save her parents' lives and souls. So now helps the mall get souls, and she says she'll going to enjoy showing the torture and pain to this town and mayor that the mall will bring. And that she will bring. She enjoys it now. And she's forgotten all about Lizzie and all about Plainsfield and all that type of stuff. The only people she cares about now, or things she cares about now, is the mall and her parents. And that's the end of the story. I gotta say, the ending was great. I was like, oh my god. Overall, I give Bumps in the Night's first book in the Mall of Madness, or the first book of Bumps in the Night series in the Mall of Madness, a 8.5 out of 10. It's definitely a good book. I highly recommend picking it up where you can. It's either on bumpsinthenight.com, I think it is, or Amazon. On Amazon, you can buy it. I think there's a second book out there, which I hope I can get my hands on too to read and review. I want to thank the author real quick, ADRO or RO. I think that's how you say his name. I am sorry if I'm butchering it. For sending me this copy and for allowing me to review it on my channel. And I will definitely love to do work with him in the future. If he'll allow me. Thank you all for watching. Remember to stay cool, stay hip, and if you like horror or if you like anime or manga, don't forget to like and subscribe because that's what I'm all about. Peace, y'all.
Yeah. Whoa. First, let me hop out the motherfucking Porsche. I got 2D girls riding on my dick like a horse. Burn Figmas, I'm Figmas. These people can't stop me. 2D girls fucking be senpai's new hobby. Pull the pencil out the shit to your waifu. I'm the king of this shit. Waifu flocking from the nation just to come hear me spit. Got the 2D game unlocked. If you ain't bout this